Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our last week of our four-part music recital. This week, we have the pleasure of having Kendall Banashak sing for us. She's the alto at our morning worship service, and so you probably see her every Sunday. Welcome, Kendall.
Thank you for having me.
So you've been here with us for about 3 years, and I just want to ask you, what have you enjoyed most about performing in the church?
My favorite thing probably has been the variety of music that we perform, because it's never the same each Sunday. There's always a new genre or a new everything.
Right. So yeah, we sometimes have very Baroque and very classical pieces, and sometimes we just have weird post-romantic era or just weird jazz music in our church. So it's always fun. It's always fun for me as a pianist to just try to learn all these new styles. So up first we have our first song. It is called Once Upon a Dream, right?
Yes.
It is a Broadway musical, and it is part of the larger show called Jekyll and Hyde. So Kendall, tell us more about this Broadway musical.
Yeah, so this particular piece, it's in the musical Jekyll and Hyde. The composer Frank Wildhorn is actually a renowned songwriter, both in the popular and Broadway worlds. Mm-hmm. And in the popular music world, he's written for people like Kenny Rogers and Whitney Houston, actually. And he composed Jekyll and Hyde in 1990. And it actually premiered in Houston, which is really cool, I think. The musical itself, it follows the story of a scientist who couldn't find anybody to do his experiments on, so he decides to do it on himself. But something goes terribly wrong, of course, and he ends up having two personalities, one of which is the tame scientist, and the other is a murderous psychopath. And so this song comes in at the beginning of the second act. Nobody has seen Dr. Jekyll in a couple of weeks, and they're really worried about him. And his love interest, Emma, she is really worried about him, and so she goes to check on him in his lab, but see his diary was left open, so she starts to read it, and he comes in and is really like, what are you doing here, And so she begins to sing this song, Once Upon a Dream, in which she explains, she still loves him, and she is just trying to understand what's going on, and she wants him to open up to her and everything. And so then it ends, and he says that he still loves her, but kind of waves her off because he's really embarrassed of what he's become.
Right. So in the music, it's very contemporary. It has very contemporary chords, you may say. But there's a very distinct shift near the end of the song where we go from an E major chord or an E major key to a G flat major key. And it's a very drastic change. So tell us why, we have this in this song.
Yeah, so a lot of the times in musical theater pieces specifically, whenever the stakes get higher and there's more drama, that's reflected in the music through key changes, because it automatically marks to the listener that this is more important, the character's more desperate, which definitely rings true in this piece.
Right. So sit back and enjoy Once Upon a Dream.
When this all began, I knew there'd be a prize. Once upon a dream,
Up next, we have our second piece. It is a French piece called Ouvre ton cœur. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's written by Georges Bizet, and he lived from 1838 through 1875, and this piece was written in 1860. So tell us more about this piece, Kendall.
Yeah, so the composer actually, he's very known for writing these kind of like exotic works. As you'll hear, this piece is very inspired by the Spanish bolero. That's very present in the rhythm in the piano. It sounds like the Spanish castanets. Mm-hmm. And the Spanish bolero is actually a dance in 3/4, and that's the same time signature that this piece is in, which evokes a very Spanish exotic feel. Yeah, this composer has used this across multiple of his works, including Carmen was another one of his, right, which is a major opera. Mm-hmm. But in this specific piece, the singer is rejecting love, stating, the daisy has closed its petals, the shadow has closed its eyes for the day. However, the singer quickly changes her mind and asks her partner to open their heart to her.
Yes, and so for the audience, Kendall mentioned something about castanets, and that is mostly used in Spanish music when you hear like a clapping sound. So once again, when you hear the piano in this piece, it has a very similar rhythm to it. It's tan ta 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 tan tan ta 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 tan tan. So it reminds us of the castanets. So yes, sit back and enjoy our last piece of our music recital called Ouvre ton cœur. We hope you have enjoyed our 4-week recital. Again, this recital is meant to fundraise for our Young Latino Scholarship Fund. On the screen, there will appear 3 options of how you can donate to this fund. The first option is to send a check to the First Covenant Presbyterian Church, with the subject line being the Young Latino Scholarship Fund. Our second option is to donate through our PayPal link, which will be posted in the description of the video. And our third option is that you can come by and drop off your check or whatever form of donation you want to give back. So I hope you have enjoyed our recital. Be on the lookout in the future for any other events that we might do. And I hope that you can enjoy the rest of the evening.